Hey, greetings everyone, it's Gleekon. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On the last episode, we really did some solid yeoman's work in Tirisfal Glades, the last starting... Oh, we're looking at the wrong person, I forgot actually. The last starting zone that we're going to do before we can kind of do our first dungeon and then roll up into the second tier of zones with Gleekon's Soul. So stay a while and listen as we jump right back into that. We have a couple branching paths open to us. We took a day off. Yesterday was a busy day, a lot of sports action on, end of a work week, but we shall see what we shall see. So the last time, if we look at I think it's easiest not to look at our quest list, but to look at our map. Last time we branched out and we basically did this whole chunk of Tirisfal Glades. And so we have a couple paths ahead of us here. Now we can run into, I think what we should do is go into Undercity. So on the way we can pick up this Forsaken Duties quest to complete it and pick up the rear guard patrol. It's good that we waited until we got Forsaken Duties because I don't know if we would have otherwise missed out on that breadcrumb. And then we'll work our way into the Undercity quest, because there's a small quest line with the Prodigal Lich here that will actually send us out into this kind of central zone, this lake area. And it's easier than either the Agamemnon Mills or Bulwark Scarlet Monastery adjacent type of area. So here's, if you ever wanted to be a Skinner trainer, you could do it. You could be like me, which is a Tauren out here skinning weird undead things. And here's a fishing salesman that has a couple recipes, so just a weird little random spot. Don't neglect it if you are starting and only coming out here.
You've got the hang of it.
Here's a leather worker.
Anymore, but talk to Arthur Moore of
You could teach me a little bit more. Don't sell yourself short.
Tell him I sent you.
But what are we really going to make with, I can make some more light leather, but I'm not going to mess with it because they don't have string or anything here. So I'm not worried about it. Alright, so let's turn in Forsaken Duties.
Quickly.
Greetings, shaman. Be wary as you travel east toward the Bulwark. Recent surveillance reports indicate increased scourge activity in that area, so exercise caution.
Magistrate Severin wants a report. Very well. The defenders at the Bulwark are holding the majority of the scourge at bay, but some do slip through on occasion.
The weakest ones.
We have seen sporadic scourge activity east of this station, with a concentration around the Balnir farmstead. Now return to Magistrate Severin with the information I gave you. He'll want it as soon as possible, so be swift. And if you see any scourge on your way back, take them down. We can't let them wander our lands unchallenged. Defenders on the Bulwark protecting Tirisfal from the Plague Lands are on constant alert, but sometimes scourge will slip past them. Our success at the Bulwark depends on a one-front battle. We cannot allow an attack from the rear, nor can we allow our defenders' supply line to be cut. Assist the Bulwark, patrol east and slay any scourge you find. Spend particular effort at the Balnir farmstead to the east. It has become a haven for interloping scourge.
Okay, so now we've got more reason to go over to the Bulwark, which is what I pretty much assumed would happen. Also, I don't know that tracks. It's like our soldiers can really do a good job holding out the undead in the Western Plague Lands, where everything is like level 50. But the ones that slip through are like level 8, so maybe level 9, 10. Yeah, so we really can't risk all those level 9s and 10s attacking us from behind. That would really distract us from fighting the level 50s. If one of the level 50s made its way through, it could wreak havoc on the whole zone. Until it got, like, near the Undercity, then sure, some guards could come out. Or maybe there's, like, a random... I haven't really clocked all the levels of every patrolling guard, Undercity guard that goes to the area, but... my guess is the ones that could easily one-shot a level 50 are few and far between. So it could just rampage killing mobs. I mean, I guess over by the Zeppelin you'd have a few, so they could put a stop to it, but it could definitely do some damage depending on the path it took. But yeah, send me after it. That sounds real good. I'm level 15 though, so you know I'm actually pretty Chad for this area. Or actually, the new word I've learned. I'm pretty. I guess it's not like exactly in the same sense, but I'm pretty Sigma. Yeah, that's right. She's a alpha male that goes by herself or something. My son tried to explain to me the nuance of Sigma. So that's, yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we will start to see people's characters named after that and stuff. That's the next thing. While we're here, we could pick up the power to destroy. I am tempted. I'm strongly tempted. Oh, here's a flight path. Let's not forget it since we forgot to get the flight path.
How may I be of service?
In one important... Oh, with Dadgar, we forgot to get it in Ironforge. That's painful.
And you are...
What does she have? I mean, we could look at jobs while we're here. We certainly could. There's a cooking trainer, actually. We probably just passed. There's somewhere up on the mid-tier. But we need to go to the witches. I'm not really that... I mean, we actually haven't been to... This is tabards and guild stuff. We actually haven't been in here in the Undercity with this character, I think, officially. So, maybe we should look. Here's cooking supplies.
Be quick about your business.
So that we already have the 2 main recipes that they teach. Should we bother cooking anything? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. So, nah, we're good.
Farewell.
Can we learn anything?
Cooking is a lifelong pursuit, and I see we share the same passion.
I mean, that's what I want. I want to buy food from a bunch of zombies. What could go wrong? Sell this trash. I'm telling you, that slumber sand... Ooh, that's going to be legit. That thing can be so helpful. And there's no level cap on it. So it's basically, it puts the enemy to sleep, no fail chance, for 20 seconds. So it's like a free, you can only do 1 creature at a time, but it's a free 20-second stun. You can do it over and over again. I don't think it really has a cooldown. So you can really change the flow of a fight. It was how I almost successfully soloed at level like 23 or something, I don't remember, in the 20s, the final mission on Fenris Isle. With my off-camera character, so with my druid. Now again, you can do a lot more as a druid, but it was pretty dang good. Now I think as a shaman we will learn Hex, so it kind of eliminates the need to go all in with that. But we'll find out. We'll find out where we're at, what kind of totems we have and stuff. We'll have our water totems by then too, and as soon as you can start stacking all of the totems, it totally changes the name of the game. This is where you do all your mages, reagent buying, demon, warlock training, priest training.
Speak quickly.
Oh, I forgot to mark down the ones that we did. So we turned in Forsaken Duties, we picked up Return to the Magistrate and Rear Guard Patrol. So let's fix this spreadsheet. So we turned in... Oh, come on, guys. Alright, so we turned in Forsaken Duties. And then we picked, so we can check that one off on the old boxy poo. Oh, remember A Letter Undelivered? Where did that one come from? I feel like we looked that one up. That one came from... Oh, that's the drop quest. That's a drop. So I gotta add that in as a drop. Right, I'm pretty sure. Let's look at that. Dang it, why did I just get right out of it? Because it says it starts, it doesn't even tell you where it starts. Thurman's Letter, which it is provided for, it's the objective of, right, it's dropped off the enemies in Agman Mills. Yeah, it just doesn't really say. Anywho, so we will, when we do Agamemnon Mills, that part will come up. All right, but we also just picked up. We just completed Forsaken duties. We picked up Return to the Magistrate. And we picked up, what was it? Rearguard Patrol. All right, so, and now we're about to complete the Prodigal Lich, and that's going to give us another, like, it's going to open up this little chain right here. Oh, did we read his orders? Oh, I guess we could have. Lord Bether, Ice Shard, as per your instructions, I send to you the agent you requested. It is the bearer of this note. This person is shown to be dependable and able to follow orders, is proven against the forces of the Scourge, and is my choice for your mission. May she reign supreme, Magistrate Severin.
This had better be good.
Greetings. Either you do not know who I am, or your business with me is urgent. Because if neither of these were true, then you would not be foolish enough to disturb me.
Ah, you are the agent sent by Magistrate Severin. Then yes, your business with me is crucial. I trust Severin has mustered someone suitable for my task, but we shall see.
We shall see.
There is a lich who dwells on the island in Brightwater Lake to the north. Although he is a free-willed Forsaken, he believes all other undead are Scourge slaves and has his minions attack anyone who approaches him. But because he is Forsaken, the Queen will want him, and if he is skilled in necromancy, then his knowledge would be quite useful to us. To discover his identity and his talents, I must see his spellbook, steal into his camp and acquire it, then return to me.
10-4. Alright, so we just picked up, this is an Undercity quest technically. It's called the Lich's Identity. And this is kind of a back and forth, so it's a little bit annoying. This quest chain will slow us down, because otherwise we could probably just go out there and execute, literally and figuratively. And instead, we're going to have to spend some amount of time running back and forth, and that's going to be slightly annoying. But at least we got the flight path, so I don't have to worry about that part. I can't believe we still have to do the Undercity flight path. Stinker. I do kind of want to train the weapons, but we're also getting very close to 16, so I don't want to waste any gold yet until I level up, so that's why I'm not really working on professions or anything. Go ahead and find out what we get at 16 as a shaman. I suspect nothing too crazy good. I mean, we do have some things. Our kit's very small still. I don't think we're gonna get. I think we just got the flame totem. Do we have anything in here in the bank?
Speak quickly.
I'm gonna put this Kodo skin in here because, I mean, are we? We finally have the bags. I mean, sure, Kodo hide bag could give us 2 extra points. Other than that, I mean, we could save this as an offhand weapon. If we... That, well, actually, we should have that on us. Oh, but you know what? This silver bar, like, what do I need that for? That's rare. That will need it. Alright, everything else I think is good.
Beware the living.
Yeah, because we'll drop, if we go heal Ragefire Chasm, for instance, we'll drop that shield and put on the intellect bonus thing instead. Yeah, so last night I watched basketball. The Timberwolves had another great dub, 3-0 in the series. I've literally, I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm just enjoying the ride because it's literally never happened in my life where we've gone into the playoffs, been a strong team, and then got there and dominated. Like, I don't know, not in any of my Minnesota sports fandom can I really remember anything like this, and people still don't take the team seriously, and that's whatever. We might very well get bounced in the next round, but it's been over 20 years, I think, since I don't remember. I was too young. I think I was 11 years old the last time they even made it to the second round. So, yeah, over 30 years. So I don't, which is right about when I started my fandom. I think I I really started following basketball when I was around 12. When NBA Jams came out. Alright, so on the way, we will do our return to Magistrate, and then we gotta hit this lake up here. Again, there's nothing else that really does anything for you. This could kind of be a place you could practice your fishing, I guess. There's the Zeppelin Tower. But yeah, just not really a lot going on there. And then between the two, I mean, it's a split. I think overall, I guess we're getting pushed in the direction of the Mills Overrun a little bit more than over to the Bulwark side of things. It just geographically makes sense too. But this is kind of a cool finale for the thing. Like Deaths in the Family, that's a cool one. But a New Plague is technically right now our toughest one. Alright, so I think we have to go into the building to turn this in. This return to the Magistrate. But yeah, before we do any of that, we've got some back and forth to do with this Betherite.
It is troubling to hear of the Scourge slipping past the bulwark. The Lich King and his minions are ceaseless in their assaults, but we will not give in. He will not take us again.
Okay, so no quest involving with that. He wants to flex. He wants to say, not again, Lich King. And I mean, to his credit, he's right. We're on the case. Us and millions others. So where's that? Return to the Magistrate. Check it. Checky, boom, boom. So if we don't quite finish this episode on this one, what we'll do is we will roll the wrap-up of this into quest collection for Ragefire Chasm. So regardless, we will do Ragefire Chasm in 2 episodes. If we have to roll the episodes in, because that was already going to kind of be a short episode, so if this one starts creeping up a little longer than we would like, we'll wrap it up, and we'll do our quest pickup for Ragefire Chasm. Now, Ragefire Chasm itself, I would imagine, will take us an hour. But if it's quick, we'll tack on our quest completion turn-in into the Ragefire Chasm, if it's quick. But that could span a little bit too, and I don't want to bleed that into where we go next, because it's going to be Westfall. I don't know if there's a fishing trainer around here. I don't think there is. I think he's at a different lake, but this is pretty much have to swim across Brightwater Lake. Later on, I believe Shaman gain a water breathing spell. They might also have a water walking spell. I think they have water walking and water breathing, but theirs require reagents, fish oil, and scales. I think. Warlocks get the water breathing, which is just a cool spell they can cast for free. Eventually, I don't think it exists now, or maybe it gets way higher level now, but priests, I think, get levitate eventually, which is a combination slow fall and water walking. Just kill one to make our way here. A hungering dead. Thanks for the 10 copper. Alright, so this is a spell, a one-shot quest called the Lich's Spellbook. Oh, no, this is the actual quest. This one doesn't exist. So, can we read it? He's not doing anything, he just lets us go take the spellbook. Okay, but now we have to go walk back to the Undercity. Okay, guys. There's a lot of hungering dead out here, but I guess they're cool. That guy's not appetizing. I think on our list, if we look at the quest... Yeah, see, the Candle of Beckoning and the Dormant Shade, those are repeatable quests that are actually part of what we're doing right now. But yeah, so there's just not really anything. You just go here and back, here and back, here and back. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, and our Hearthstone takes us to Thunder Bluff, so there's just no way. There's no way we're making this any faster. I think eventually, shamans, they gain, Astral Recall, which basically lets you use your Hearthstone all the time, but you can't change it to a different location. So it has its uses, but like in this case, we're not going back and forth to Thunder Bluff. But yeah, like there are certain situations where it's like, okay, that would be useful. Like if I could pop back to Orgrimmar or whatever. We should also set our Hearthstone to Orgrimmar. That would probably be smart. So that's something we forgot to do on this character. But that's alright, because we need to pick up quests in Thunder Bluff anyway. It'll actually help us this time. Where the heck are we going? Down to City. Oh, but I will say the worst part about this basketball game, so it started at, it was scheduled to start at 10:30. Okay, so right off the bat. That's long. And I swear this game felt like it went on forever. It was as long as a football game. It was like 3 hours long. So, and it didn't start until late. So it didn't start, I guess, you know, the casters or whatever broadcast, they wait until the game before it's over. So it really probably started at like 10:45. It was almost 2 in the morning by the time this game was over. And it wasn't like a tense, close game. It was like when Timberwolves blew them out. But I had to stay up until about 2 in the morning to finish the game. And I had the NFL draft on the other TV in the background, and that was boring because the Vikings had no picks yesterday. I mean, no second or third rounders. They traded them all up. So we will see. We shall see what happens in my sports fandom. But that was a Sports Minute with GleeCon. Very niche, very specific to the teams I like. And I gave you basically no information. So this is why I'm not a sports show. But you know, you can only say so much when you're running back and freaking forth to the Undercity. I hate this questline because of that. And we have to do it again. Don't worry, we've got to do it again. So maybe we'll do something else in the meantime. I don't. Whoa. Can I make it? I can't wait till we get Ghost Wolf form. All this stuff will be so much less painful when we get Ghost Wolf form. I think you get that at 20, 18 or 20. So not anytime that soon, but oh man, that'll be nice. Also, this girl looks so much like my druid. I get them confused a lot. Clearly, when it comes to cows, I have type. I'm really... I really like those kind of small horns, petite horns. I just subscribe to Petite Horn Lovers magazine. But I still like a big meaty tail and hooves. What add-on gives your character info like crit and healing mode? I hear people ask that stuff all the time. What I want is an add-on for classic, or probably for anything that doesn't require me to just look at my damage output by running simulations. So I don't want details. I already have that. You know, I don't know why I don't run it in classic, because I don't care. I don't care enough on classic. On retail, it's more important when you're running... Really, I don't really care unless I'm running mythics. But I guess it's useful for group content. I can't wait to do retail, and we can start doing solo dungeons. I am so stoked to do that. I've never done one, and I am going to be... like, I've never done one with that new NPC system, and I'm saving it for this show. We're going to do it together. It's going to be awesome.
I am forsaken.
I don't think we can read this book, no.
Leakan Soul, have you acquired the book?
Very good, adventurer. I will study this book and determine the identity of that lich. You have served your queen well. Astonishing! The book you retrieved belongs to no one other than Gunther Arcanus. Gunther was a skilled necromancer in life. He and I were friends and comrades in arms before the plague. And judging from his book, he has grown even more powerful in death.
This is after
his skills would be a great boon to us.
After he opens the book and stares intently at its glowing pages.
Long ago, Gunther and I, along with the now Scourge necromancer Thule Ravenclaw, were friends and students within the Kirin Tor, a society of mages in Dalaran. Gunther and I both fell to the plague, but I thought he either remained dead or was raised into the ranks of the Lich King. It's good to know he is free. We must have him. I've placed a spell on his book that, when he sees it, will show him that I too am free of the Lich King. After knowing this, it is my hope that he will join us.
He like got an accent with that second round. Okay, so we completed the Lich's identity and returned the book. Now he's like, well, actually this guy is our friend, so we probably should maybe like give him his stuff back. Okay, so we picked that up, we turned that one in. Super, super fun quest line. I mean, it's not as terrible. Like if you could organically come to and fro from Undercity for other reasons and do this on top of it. Say if you were undead and you had the quest line to go back and forth. Actually, I think that's in Silverpine. Yeah, which we won't get that either. Oh me, oh my. That would be... This would be a little bit less annoying because basically now we're going back to freak out to the lake again. We're going to do return the book, and then he's going to give us another little quest, and then that's going to send us back to the Undercity again. So yeah, this is just a time-consuming, tedious quest. And it's draining all of our... It's draining the clock here. We've only got, like, it's almost halfway through the episode, and this is pretty much all we've really done is putts around the Undercity. Yeah, we have to remember on Glee Contessa next time, we gotta get the flight path at Ironforge. That's crucial. Can't forget, can't believe. She's gonna do Westfall next. Oh, well, after we do Ragefire Chasm, what will happen is she'll go clear out Westfall, which is all cool. And at the end of that, she gets to do Dead Mines. But then we're going to do a very special episode where we take Glee Console and swim her up the coast, kind of like we did when we went down to connect the human lands with Ratchet in the first place. We're going to do the same thing. Wait, did I just go down? I did. I just went... What the heck am I doing? I think I just went right across. Jeez Louise. Get close to leveling up. Looking forward to that. And there's no shaman trainer here, so then what am I doing? Am I taking the tram? I think we'll just wait. I don't want to wait. I don't want to travel back and forth. Alright, how about this time I don't walk straight across like a ding-dong? I would be lying if I said that was not the first time in my life I've just literally walked right up and then went right back down the elevator. But yeah, so we'll take her into Westfall via swimming, and then there's actually a few quests that she can complete in Westfall, and then we'll have her run Dead Mines, which will be fun. And two-handed weapons will be fine for her because... Remember, we're going to eventually build up to this two-handed axes and maces trait here. Now, we do need 4 more levels, 5 total levels to get that, so we have to be level 20 to gain that. And we won't be, because we're going to be 16 now from this and change. We maybe will be 17 by the time we finish the Westfall quest. Oh no, Ragefire Chasm will come, so we'll definitely be 17. So I guess, like, in the most extreme world, we'd be about level 18. But I would definitely want the... We want these two-handed axes and maces for sure. Now... I mean, it just helps us too much with our DPS and with our soloing. It's going to be too fun. But we're also going to heal. So we're really going to be looking for either healing, DPS. Honestly, at this level, you could almost tank too. You just have to use Earth Shock a lot. It's a little harder to tank. Got to use Fire Nova Totem. You know, stuff like that. You got to really be creative with the way that you max yourself, I guess you'd save your mana and not use the light. There's our fishing trainer. So there is a fishing trainer. Wait a minute. We're behind on fishing. Oh my gosh.
I can teach you fishing skills.
We are 10 points behind on fishing. So guess what, guys? Let's fish. I can't believe that I let us go 2 levels behind. We should be 75 on fishing. And we're only 65, so let's get that going. At least we did the character class upgrades, and we're about to hit level 16, so we should really be just about 80. Maybe we should pre-do it while we're here, because obviously I'm not being as religious as I want to be in terms of... Oops, forgot to mute the old phone. That's getting ready for the NFL Draft Day 3. This is always historically the most boring. It's because I follow football very, I follow it a lot, but when I usually know, like when I was watching the draft last night, I would say the first 15 to 20 picks, I'm calling out who I think is going to get drafted, and based on what has happened before. It's a lot easier. It's not like a mock draft. I'm not saying like I'm mock drafting and nailing it, but when like the last pick happens, then I know enough where I know team needs without the little chart. I know the players that are available that are the blue chip talent. I follow it enough like that. I listen to podcasts about it. But by day 3, I don't know. I don't know who these guys are anymore. I don't follow it like that. I'm not and I have no interest. Like, I don't read mock drafts that aren't team specific. Like, I'll read my own team's 7-round mock draft, so I might know a few people that are mocked to the team that I like. But so day 3, and it lasts all day. I think it starts at 11 or 12 or something like that. And we're getting there. I slept in late tonight since I had such a late night watching that basketball game. All right, we've finished one catch-up level, so now we are doing what we should have done right when we turned 15. We finished at 14. I guess there's no golf. I can't play golf. I've never been a big golf player. I love mini golf. I love frisbee golf. When I was a teenager, I used to do the driving range a lot and go hit a bucket of balls, and that was very fun. But I've never... When I was 21, I broke my back. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on this show before. But I spent a year in a back brace and like a full body brace, really. It was like almost like an Iron Man suit. Like, it started down in the groin area and wrapped around, and it was mostly made of metal, and so it wasn't a cast, and then it went all the way up to my neck, and I had to wear it without taking it off for, I don't remember, 7 or 8 months. Like, I had to shower. I think in the beginning I even had to shower in it. And then after about 7 or 8 months, I could take it off for the shower. But I had to sleep in it and everything. It was a tough sitch. It was real bad. And when I finally took it off, it was really liberating. Alright, so now I think let's just get ahead of this, because I'm going to forget. We're going to do 1 or 2 quests to be 16. But a lot of things in my life changed after I broke my back. At first, it was actually okay. I went through a period of almost a year where I was like full back. I was playing full tackle pickup football. I was playing tennis. I was swimming in college like every day, an hour a day in the pool with the swim team. I was and actually World of Warcraft ties into this story. About a year or so after, maybe 1 to 2 years after I got out of the brace, I lost 1 centimeter of my height. I had to do some rehab. while I had the brace, and then more once I got out of the brace to kind of strengthen my core. And because it's basically, they thought that I was going to be paralyzed. I was lucky. And they basically said, okay, but well, your reward is now you're going to have the back of like an 80-year-old man for the rest of your life. So they've, I had to mitigate. I basically have to live my life around that. I have to constantly do things in terms of my diet, in terms of the way I sleep, in terms of my level of activity, or else I will be screwed, essentially. Alright, so got some old skulls out of that. We're all caught up. We're 80. So now when we hit 16, we don't have to worry about fishing. Even that wasn't that painful. We just caught up 3 levels of fishing. But one day I went to my buddy's house. This is in my college years. So when World of Warcraft came out, I was poor and in college. So what I would do is I would go to my gaming stores where I used to do like Warhammer and stuff, and video gaming stores, and I worked at Blockbuster Video. So sometimes we'd have some there. But you could get the free discs for World of Warcraft, and you'd get like a 14-day trial with the disc. It was free. You download the whole game. And then after 14 days, so I would just go to friends' houses and install that disc over and over as much as I could. And I would get and then that person would be like my new best friend for 2 weeks while I hung out with them all the time. So that was my primary way of playing World of Warcraft in this classic age. Then when Burning Crusade came out, here, we'll turn this in.
What now?
The masters are fools to send you here, for I will never again be a scourge slave.
My book? So you were the thief who stole it?
You literally saw me.
What is
Ding
this
dong.
new enchantment upon it? Bethor, he is in Lordaeron. If he still exists, then perhaps he too escaped from the Lich King's grasp. You say you are not bound by the will of the Lich King, and the enchantment Bethor placed upon my book corroborates this. But before I believe you, I must have proof that you are enemy to the Scourge. There is an old, bloody altar just off the southern coast of this island. It is used by a powerful Scourge agent, Lilith Nefara. Take a candle of beckoning from this crate here. Light it on the altar and Lilith will awake. Destroy Lilith, and I will believe you are the Lich King's foe.
Alright, so here's what we have to do. It's actually 3 quests. We have to do this quest to obtain the Candle of Beckoning. It's a repeatable. Do the repeatable, summon Lilith Nefara, kill her, and then bring it back to him. So,
Take a candle of beckoning from this crate, Glee console.
and you can notice on our map we have these quests that have just popped up. Candles of Beckoning and the Dormant Shade. So, we just finished... Where'd it go? People popped. Where'd it go? Okay, we completed... We just picked up Proving Allegiance, and we completed what? The Lich's Identity, I guess? Okay, yeah, so we completed the Lich's Identity. And... Oh no, not the Lich's Identity. Oh, we completed Return the Book. And then now we picked up Proving Allegiance. So we just completed Return the Book. And now we're going to do Proving Allegiance, which is way down here. Okay. Now within this, I'm going to just take them both right now. We are going to complete these 2, bam, bam. Candle of Beckoning and the Dormant Shade. These are the 2 repeatable ones that are that are technically right within the quest. And then this is going to give us Proving Allegiance right on the other side. I'm just going to pre-click it all. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click that one out too. So we're getting there. Ugh. Okay, so this quest is a repeatable one. Boom, you grab one of the candles and place it in your pack. Quest complete. You can do it over and over again if you need. I don't know if you can repeat it if you have a Candle of Beckoning in your bag. But doesn't really matter. The quest is just to get the candle. There's nothing spicy about it. And then here's the next repeatable quest, which is, well, let's clear these guys out. Because we're gonna fight. I mean, not that I think this girl's gonna give us any problems. But why risk it? Okay, so here's the next repeatable quest, the Dormant Shade. So we'll turn this one in. This is an old, beaten, bloody table. You place the candle of Beckoning upon the table and light it. So if you have the candle, now boom, this one's done. And it summons her. You have disturbed my rest, shaman. Now face my wrath. And yeah, sure we will. We'll do exactly that. Probably should have Earth Shocked her instead. Because she still had the dot piece on her. Alright, so she was just a shade. And now we can go turn in Proving Allegiance. And I believe there's another Steam. Now I guess we could go back and do that over and over again. I mean, she actually gave us XP, which is rare for creatures in this area. So if you wanted to, you could farm her, but it seems a lot to walk back and forth between her when we could just move someplace else.
You have defeated Lilith Nefara, proving you are an enemy of the Scourge. Incredible. I had believed I was the only undead with free will, but you have shown me there are others who have broken the Lich King's domination.
Yeah.
Take this nether gem to my old comrade Bethor. It will let us communicate, and I have much to tell him.
Okay, we're gonna get a better shield. That's pretty nice. The Prodigal Lich returns. We can also up our Thundering Strikes. So we can have a 2% chance to crit now. I love it. And we now could learn more moves as a shaman. So we now also picked up the Prodigal Lich returns. So this is near the end of the zone. Again, we have to run back in there. That's the end of the chain. I am very, very tempted. I guess while we're in there, we might as well just pick up this quest because we're getting close to the quest. We're not finishing this zone now anytime soon. So at some point, we're going to be able to just hearth our way out. So to finish my story about the back, basically, when right towards the end of Classic and then beginning the cycle for Burning Crusade, and I'm pretty sure I've told this before, one of my buddies and his brothers, he lived with his two brothers, they had an apartment, they all had their own PCs, and they all played World of Warcraft religiously. So I used to hang out with them all the time, and they'd let me have turns, you know, as you do, so we would kind of just chill and sit back and take turns, play for a couple hours here and there. Well, one day, I don't know, he just wasn't really into it or whatever, he was chilling, he didn't care. I sat and played it all day, I don't know, 8 hours, 12 hours, I can't remember. And then I left the apartment, and I used to live in San Francisco, and San Francisco proper is like maybe 8 miles across the whole city, so if you walk in a straight line, block to block or whatever, just walk in the quadrants of the city, you really are never going to have to walk more than 8 miles if you want to get to a location. And, you know, that's about 18,000 steps, something like that. It's not like crazy, and you know, I've always been a hiker. That's nothing to me. So sometimes I just wouldn't want to take the bus, and or you miss the bus, and it's like, do I wait 15, 20 minutes for the next bus, or do I just walk? And so I decided to walk, and on the way, there was a guy that had a trailer, and he was pushing up his motorcycle into the back of the trailer, but he was struggling trying to do it on his own. So I came over there, and I saw him, I walked over, and I just helped him get his motorcycle on his trailer. And, you know, pushing, and again, because I'm living my life like nothing ever happened, because after I got the brace off and my rehab was done after a year, I felt great. I was fine, and, you know, I was young and fit. So I went home, went to bed, woke up, couldn't walk. Like, I was, like, pretty much, like, wheelchair bound. I couldn't walk anymore. And I guess I had just, I don't know, inflammation from sitting or from the pushing. I don't know what it was that caused it. The weird, you know, complete, like, lack of physical activity then coupled with a more extreme physical activity at the end. I don't know what it was that triggered it, but also there was an underlying physical thing. The bone spurs had been regrowing from my back, and they went right into my nerves. immediately I couldn't work. I didn't know what to do. Couldn't work. Couldn't really walk. It was a bad time. And then right in all of that, when all that was going down, I was hanging out with my then girlfriend, and I got a call on the phone that my best friend died. So it was like this terrible, just worst. Well, really, it was. So when that went down, I didn't know what to do. So before my best friend died, so all the back things. So this really hit me. Now finances started to get very tight. I was trying to wrap up my degree in college, my first, and so getting to school and being motivated to do the work was very extreme. Work was working was hard because around this time I had quit Blockbuster and I was doing roofing.
Hello.
And it was all of this. It was just a tough situation. And for the one and only time in my life, I decided to see the college that I worked for. Like you could do like a student rate in the psychology program, and you can go to like students that were getting their masters in psychology and doing their clinicals.
Have you returned Gunther's book? Has he responded?
You convinced him to join us. You have done a great deed for the Forsaken adventurer. The Dark Lady will be informed.
Fantastic. What's he doing? Oh, he's going to talk to Bether here. This is so he summons Bether's image, his visage, and now we can see them have a little reunion, and we get a cool shield in the process.
It has been a long time, Bethel, my friend. When time permits, we must speak at length. We have much to discuss. Thank you, Gleek and Soul. Without your aid, I may have never found my way to the Forsaken. Farewell, my friend.
So this is a kind of a neat little shield. It's better than what we had. 224 block, coming off 189.3 block. All right, now we can go back out into the world, and we're gonna sit tight and not leave. But let's go ahead and pick up the. I don't think we're gonna have to come back into the Undercity. So, well, we just completed that. Let's check that one off. Prodigal Lich returns. Okay, so we'll go ahead and pick up the power to destroy right now too, and we'll check it off as a pickup. So actually, let's go ahead and set this up. So what we would do next is we would set up Ragefire Chasm. So that is going to be the next chunk for us. Dang it. I wanted to pick this up. Okay, I want this right here. Okay, that needs to spread a little bit out. And then we can pick these two up. Bam. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so. Okay. And I think we'll probably have to do a few of these, but as well spread it out because between picking up and turning in. So we're gonna go pick our first quest up right now. Anyway, so you could get like basically, and I was so broke, but I was also like, I had never been that low. Like everything was a struggle. You know, when you're, 22, 23, 24 years old, I think I was around, by this point in time, I was around 24. And you're really staring down the barrel of being like an invalid for the rest of your life, and everything else. My support system was minimal, and it was just it was very, very, very. It was my low of my life, I would say, probably right around that period. So I was having crisis of everything, and didn't know what to do, was in a bad mental space. So someone suggested to me that I should maybe like try to see a therapist or whatever, and I didn't have I was broke also, so I was like, okay. And then I looked in, and I guess part of the university I went to, you had like the student insurance, and if you used their services, so for like $10 or $20 or something like that, you could a session you could go, but you were going to be seeing someone that was like a fresh graduate that was in their clinicals. So I met up with this person that wasn't that much older than me, and she was super nice. But I was probably one of the first like patients she had ever worked with. This is a PvP thing over here, and this is the first time we're going here. This is Charlindra from Warcraft 3, Lady Sylvanas Windrunner. So this is a really cool thing. We'll come in here and do some quests later, but for now we just get to deal with Veranath.
I'm always on the winning side.
Do not presume to speak to me as though you are my equal, shaman. Sylvanas is my queen, and I will do as she bids. If you do not show the proper respect, I assure you can find a more than suitable place for you in the Nether. But there is no reason we cannot have words if you wish to aid the Dark Lady.
How will this benefit me?
Many denizens of the Legion bestow gifts on their followers, as you may well know. Some of these gifts the Dark Lady feels would be better off in her hands than in the hands of those with lesser vision. A sect of the Shadow Council hidden in caverns below Orgrimmar known as the Searing Blade are a prime example. The lady tells me that members of the Searing Blade have come into the possession of 2 powerful spellbooks. She would like to borrow these books from them. You will get them for her.
Alright, and we will. So we just picked up the power to destroy. Again, not really going to be anything that it's actually the highest level of the various quests, so we did do a pickup on that. But just because I don't want to come back into Undercity now. I've ran back and forth here enough, and when we do leave, we're going to be hearthing to Thunder Bluff. So we're good on all that. Yeah, so it was, it wasn't bad. Like, I did have some good moments where some things... Now, what I did is, they started to go... She started, and I don't remember her name, unfortunately. She started as, like, really, into... Like, not into, she was trying to do maybe, like, what she was trained to do, I guess. And she was just, like, listening, And I think that's probably what they tell you to do if you're, like, in psychologist school. Just listening. And so after, like, half an hour or something of our first session, I was like, look, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not interested in just talking, which is so funny because it's literally all I do in this show, just talk for an hour, hours, non-stop. Just complete self-servicing. And I was like, I'm not really interested in that. I would be interested in a dialogue, but that's the way this is going, the way you see it on TV. I was like, this is not really going to work for me. So, to her credit, she was young and willing to, break the rules or whatever, and she was like, okay. So we just had, a series of conversations, and in my opinion, they were pretty productive, because I shared my thoughts, and she helped me see, things that I took for granted about myself that I thought I'm, this and this and this are just true about me. She kind of helped me realize, like, that's not the case, man. So, as far as that goes, I do think there was
Cooking
benefit
is a lifelong pursuit, and I see we share the same passion.
So I just want to cook those fish that we caught up. I don't care about the brilliant small fish. They don't. The amount of extra copper you may make, I have never done the math, for selling a cooked one versus a non-cooked is just not worth the time it takes to cook them. So, so that was cool. I mean, it was fine. Was it worth even the $20 a session? I don't know. I've never wanted to go before or since. My experiences with therapy, I've had a couple other non-individual therapy situations, couples therapy type things that I've experienced in my life. since then, and none of them have ever been positive. So I can't say I have a very great overall view of the perception, but that woman now, she was cool. But then my best friend died when I was a couple months into doing that, and I was already at my low, and but I started doing, like, I started trying to climb out physically. I started doing acupuncture, and that was super, super, super helpful. I started doing, like, I swear by it. That really, I think, is what helped me eventually, you know, get through all of it. It also really helped me with, like, other aspects. It was just an overall pleasant experience. All right, so we just have 5 minutes. I don't know what we should do with our 5 here. Jeez. Such a waste of an episode just running back and forth to that. I guess we'll start heading over to the mills and at least get near there. I don't really know. You know, what are we supposed to do with this? Maybe not. Maybe rather than that, we just call it, and it's going to be that ate up one whole episode because you're spending so much time walking back and forth. Such a bummer. But yeah, so I ended up flaking on the whole thing because when my best friend died, it was too much for me, and I just called the therapist. I think I had an appointment like the next day, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I just told him, I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, this is too much. And then plus I ended up, you know, shortly thereafter leaving San Francisco, coming to be back around family. So the point of all that was that something about World of Warcraft. So there's another one of these episodes that ends up being a travel episode. I'm sure I'll lose like 100 subscribers and it all sucks, but I appreciate you guys taking this journey with me. You do all rock. We'll be able to bust this zone out with a lot more fun, engaging quests on the next episode. We did pick up one for the Ragefire Chasm, which is impending upon us, and it got a boring set out of it. So we will, on the next one, wrap this up and wrap this up. We'll be able to do both, and I would imagine get all the Ragefire Chasm's quests done too. All right, another one in the pipe, 5x5. Thank you, my dear, dear friends. See you next time on Lore of Warcraft.